Today I want to talk to you about kittens. Kittens that have lost their mittens and, for whatever reason, don't know where to find them. However divided we are as a nation, I think helping kittens get new mittens is the kind of thing we can all get behind. There are of course some politicians who would suggest that if these are inner city kittens, it's probably their own fault or the fault of their parents. However, let's just assume that sanity prevails and someone in Congress presents a bill that would ensure all kittens get mittens. I'll represent that bill by this packet of bacon. What typically happens next is a member of Congress who, not coincidentally, receives a lot of campaign contributions from the agricultural industry, suggests that we look into the feasibility of making mittens from corn at a cost of, say, $10 million. That $10 million corn mitten subsidy is earmarked and added to the Kitten Bill, so I'll represent that by a second packet of bacon attached to the first packet of bacon. At this point, given our overabundance of kittens and finite supply of mittens, someone might suggest that for the long-term survival of the species, it would be best if cat owners had the option of having their cats neutered at no cost to themselves. Obviously, that's not going to sit well with the religious right, at which point someone in Congress is doubtless going to insist on $10 million earmarked for a faith-based initiative to teach abstinence to kittens. I'll represent those $10 million by a packet of bacon which is going to attach itself to these two packets of bacon. Then, a congressman who happens to receive significant campaign contributions from the defence industry redefines the meaning of mittens to include gloves, slippers and a large nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. One that, quite coincidentally, is scheduled to be built in his congressional district. Let's represent the aircraft carrier by, you guessed it, another packet of bacon. In order to keep all this bacon together, I'm using some leftover Homeland Security duct tape. Speaking of Homeland Security, it's at about this point that a congressman in the Midwest suggests that kittens pose a serious risk to balls of string in his congressional district, even though the same congressman voted for cutbacks in ball of string protection at our major seaports. Cost of protecting balls of string in the Midwest from would-be terrorist kittens? This packet of prosciutto, which is basically fancy bacon. This is when things start to get really ridiculous. You know those cat towers you see in the pet store, the kind that cats love to climb up and down on? Well, Republican Congressman Don Young wants one of those built in Alaska at a cost of about $200 million for an area that has, at best, 50 kittens. That's about $4 million per Alaskan kitten. I'll represent that by this bag of frozen bacon. And so it goes, as politicians that receive big financial contributions keep finding new ways to benefit their benefactors. And what started as a packet of bacon to help kittens get mittens has turned into a full slab of congressional pork. This video is supplied for parody purposes only. The more smileys you use in an email, the more mittens you'll need in later life. I just want to give a shout out to Michelli, whose America Sweet Freedom video is the very obvious inspiration for this one, and to give a special thanks to my sister Jackie and my nephew Connor, who sent me all that bacon for my birthday. You guys rock! Check it out, look, it's got a little kitten on it. Isn't that the cutest thing you've ever seen? Meow, 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 meow. £9 slabs of Smiley Intervention bacon, available now at cafepress.com/Markday Comedy.